Welcome everybody to week 3 of the IndyQuest Fantasy Football League. Hope you guys are doing well today, and third straight week we have some special guests. One more old fucker, one more young dude. So let's get right to it. Let's introduce fourth quarter. Keith Johnson and his son. It's Miller time because he needs that drink after that draft. David Cole.
How y'all doing? Like this week.
Okay, guys, welcome once again. And just like every guest that are here, I'd like to ask you guys how you think you did in the draft, how your team's doing, and let's start with the elder statesman, fourth quarter. Keith, how do you think your team does?
Well, I made a mistake in the second round, Jeff. I drafted Freeman. Freeman's hurt.
I thank you for that.
Yeah, you drafted his backup. But what I'm hoping is Freeman comes back by the 5th week, and he's going to come through towards the end of the season.
So the question was, how do you think you did in the draft? Besides that,
I just told you, Jeff.
You just told me about.
I messed up on Freeman.
So you told me about one player as an overall team. How do you think you did?
We'll see. It's only week 2.
A work in progress, folks. Now let's go to the younger one. It's Miller time with David Cole.
Well, Jeff,
My son.
my first 2 picks felt really strong about my running back core. Strong. Yeldon, Gordon, doing well. Yeldon got hurt.
Would that be Fournette?
Not Yeldon, Fournette. Sorry about that. But I picked up Yeldon. I locked in that running back core there.
Camera's right there, son.
Don't worry, he was doing the same thing earlier. Just call him a spitter.
You're right there? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my wide receivers are lacking. Made a mistake of not drafting Michael Thomas and instead Michael Williams. Tough. It hurt.
Happens, son.
But I feel strong about my team.
You're
really
making
do.
moves.
Really
You're
do.
making moves. Understand, about winning this league, it's not about what you draft, it's about what you finish up with.
Wow.
Making moves.
Now that he trying to trump your thing, how do you like your team there, David Cole?
I like my team. I think Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback, and he's going to score me a lot of points this season. Melvin Gordon, stud. He's dropped that stud. Just picked up Deshaun Jackson, who I believe this week is going to have an amazing game against the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary.
I must agree.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Thank you. I needed that.
Okay. Well, look, we're going to get into some matchups, but before we get into the matchups, can you guys read that date on that piece of paper?
That would be August 24th, 2019.
What day?
That's a Saturday.
And what day do you think that is, guys?
What do you think?
That'd be our draft day.
That would be the draft day.
What day is it?
August 24th, 2019. What day is that?
Be a Saturday.
That'd be a Saturday.
So no reason to miss the draft, correct?
None whatsoever.
Okay, well, let's get into the matchups this week. Commissioner is a stellar 5-0, even though there's a recorded saying he missed a game. So let's go with the first matchup. Bare Knuckles versus It. Let's give this one to Keith Johnson. Who do you like in this matchup?
Well, here's the thing. Jeffrey had a solid draft. You know what? Every year, Jeffrey has a solid draft.
Solid.
Every year, Jeff finished second. I mean, well, maybe not every year, but it kind of seems like he finishes second every year. So, he comes out the gate hard. Somehow, he finishes soft.
Kind of like a hurricane.
Yeah.
Starts off in excitement, ends in disaster.
Well, my thing is, though, on this week, Chris, I love you, man. I think you're lacking in running backs there. You usually, I think what happens, I've done this many years. I always go with the strong wide receivers. This year, I think it's important to have some really good running backs, the ones that catch the ball. At this point, I'm going to go with Bare Knuckles.
A very wise choice. Finally, someone that's a guest host picks the commissioner's team.
No, I love Chris. I love his receivers, but at this point, I got to go with Bare Knuckles.
How about David Cole? It's Miller time.
Well, I'm going to be honest here. Bare Knuckles with Todd Gurley, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen against Buffalo.
Who do you like?
Oh, I'm sorry, not Buffalo. The Rams. I'm going to have to go with Bare Knuckles myself here, just due to the fact that he's got some studs that score high points. Antonio Brown, he has not been the same AB. Aaron Rodgers going against Washington, he's going to come out and he's going to play, but Adrian Peterson needs some work. So I'm going to go Bare Knuckles from this one.
Okay, well, thanks, guys, and I appreciate you breaking down the whole teams, but we don't have 30 minutes to do this video. So let's
Let's move on then, Jeff.
Pigskin Pimps versus Steeler Mac 1. What do you think?
Well, first of all, my brother beat me by about 20 points, I think, the first week. He selected a great team. At this point, I'm still worried about his running backs. He's got Lamar Murray in there. Don't think he's going to do a whole lot this week. Kamara, he's going to get his 25 points. Not real sure on Juju. He had a great week last week. I love Landry. He's already got his points for this week, 23, I believe. And you know what? I just want Pigskin Pimps to lose this week. I'm going with Steeler Mac.
Steeler Mac 1. And what do we do? It's Miller time. Who do you like?
I don't want to seem like I'm just following the old man's advice here or anything, but I like Steeler Mac 1 in this matchup. I think he's got some players that have favorable matchups this week, and obviously Landry did very well for him this week. I'm going to go with Steeler Mac 1 on this one.
Right on, 2 Steeler Mac 1s. Good choice, and thanks for that deep, in-depth analysis of each team. And we're going to probably roll at 21 minutes on this if we keep doing this. Fourth quarter versus Green Roisin. What do you guys like? It's obvious choice for both of you.
Well, first of all, you never go against your old team. I don't like my second running back this week. I probably should have put Hyde in there. I was thinking about it, but I didn't. But understand, I think I might have enough depth to overcome that. So at this point, fourth quarter, bitches.
Right on, fourth quarter. David Cole?
You are my Superman.
David Cole?
Long fucking time.
You are my
I'm going to go with the
Superman.
fourth quarter on this, just due to the matchups. Chris's team, I kicked his ass last week, so...
Fourth quarter it is. Okay. Now, let's go Lane Gang versus Go Boilers. David Cole, you're up first this time.
For this matchup, I like Go Boilers. Pat Mahomes, stud. He's just a stud. So, Go Boilers, you got this one in my book.
Good choice. And Mr. Fourth Quarter, Keith?
Bobby wishes that I'd go with him. Understand that I think he's put together a decent team, not a good draft, but a team because why do I think that he put together a good team? Because he makes moves. He makes moves.
Valid point. So, who do you choose?
I go Boilers this time.
Go Boilers. There we go. And now, it's the matchup of the week. Fubar Morgan versus It's Miller time. Fourth quarter. Who do you like?
Well, I'm going with my son, Fubar. I love you.
A lot of love for Fubar. What about you,
But
David Cole?
Johnson, hey, stop. He's hurt. David Johnson's hurt. Not physically, but mentally. Cohen, okay, Howard learned how to catch the ball this year. Son, Melvin Gordon, Fournette, All right, y'all know I'm going.
It's Miller time. And now,
Miller time.
You
Texas.
talking to me? Are you talking to me? It's Miller time. Every time. He's gonna get the win. I mean, just look at it. David, I feel bad that you're gonna be the second David in the standings this week. But it's okay. Still love you.
so he says, there's no love in fantasy. Let me tell you that. At least fantasy football. And now it is the eliminator. Would anybody like to read who is eliminated this week from having the lowest score last week?
It's first of all, it's one of my brothers from another mother, Mr. Chris Langley.
With
Who
a
is
name
it?
like it.
104.
With a
I'm
name
sorry.
like it.
And I'm sorry, brother.
You should work for IT instead of play fantasy football with that score.
Dude, don't talk to my brother like that.
I'm sorry. All due respect.
Okay.
Sorry I had to be you.
Love me.
Well, thank you guys. No last words for you because you guys are ramble. So I want to thank these guys for hosting our show. And good luck, everybody.